as I like to call it, the Tory pyramid scheme, where essentially, in exchange for a certain amount of money, you get access to ministers, or you get, these certain rewards. And there's a like you say, there's a hierarchy. So they've mapped it out. It's almost like a business model for the Conservatives, in order to raise a certain amount of money.
If you pay more, you become a knight or a peer, and presumably becoming a peer is top dollar, is it? And an OP is, I don't know, a few thousand or something. Is that how it works?
Exactly. Yeah, the peerage is the top of the tree. I mean, I think that someone quite prominent in the Conservative Party was quoted as saying, if you donate £3 million, you get a peerage. That's just the deal. That is the deal. And that's corrupting, because these people can shape our laws. And it's not just peerages, but it's access to ministers. So in exchange for a few £100,000, which is a huge amount of money, but trust me, to the bankers and the hedge funders and the private equity firms, that is nothing. That's a big night out in London. That is a drop in the ocean for these guys. And in exchange, they have access to ministers. They can bend the ear of power, and that's deeply corrosive to democracy, because it means that a few people with a lot of money have an outsized say in what laws are passed. And that's not how our mother of all parliaments should function.
It's interesting, actually. As you were speaking, Sam, you just reminded me that I was reading a story about Lord Geit. Remember him, the ethics advisor to Boris Johnson, who has just been slapped over the wrists by the House of Lords for breaking House of Lords rules, because he, whilst being paid by a company, sat in on a meeting of defence ministers. So essentially he was being paid by an American satellite company, and he stood accused of using his position in the House of Lords to be present at meetings where decisions might be made about contracts. Now, I should say, in his defence, he has issued a statement saying that he received the mildest rebuke that the House of Lords could offer, and that he refutes doing anything wrong. I mean, something is just broken in this system, Sam, and my personal view is we should start again. I should also add, and actually, in fact, this will be my last question to you. When I was reading about Mohammed Mansour, I was reading that he is also a philanthropist. So he's a multi-billionaire. He also gives money to loads of charities, but actually has also given this £5 million to the Conservative Party. Do you think there's a kind of middle way where the system can be salvaged, as long as, I suppose, if you, for example, if one was to give money to a political party, then somehow you knock yourself out of the running for a damehood or a knighthood, would that stop the corruption, do you think?
I think so, yeah. And in the same way, a peerage, I think that would be a great thing. I think the problem is you'd see whether this is a problem or not, actually, I'm not quite sure, but you'd see a dip in political party donations, I'd suspect. Because you'd imagine that this is quite attractive. These perks are quite attractive to the people who donate to political parties. I mean, I like to throw it out there more generally that I think that political parties should be state-funded. It's a very controversial view. I think it would cost about £100 million a year, which is not a trivial amount of money. But I think that the benefit that it could do to our democracy, to ensure that you don't have these external influences being able to bend the ear of power, would be massive. I think it would be the best £100 million that the country could ever spend.
Sam Bright. I don't think it's controversial because I agree with you. Others might find it so, though. Sam Bright, investigative journalist and author of Bullingdon Club Britain. Thank you very much indeed for your time this afternoon. So it turns out that the Tory party's biggest donor, £5 million Mohammed Mansour, well, he was until Frank Hester came along with his £10 million. Mohammed Mansour is on a nominations list to get a knighthood in a surprise honours list drawn up by Rishi Sunak. Do you not think it's time we just scrap the whole system and replace it with something better? Or can you make a defence for it? 0345 6060973. I'm Sangeeta Maiska. This is LBC.
This is LBC.
This is what award-winning customer service sounds like from Real Octopus Energy calls.
Truly, sincerely cannot thank you enough for everything you have done. I really, truly mean that. All of you, the whole of Octopus as a company overall, you are, for a good reason, one of the best energy companies to be with, and I cannot be more happy being with yourselves. Thank you ever so much.
Octopus Energy, outstanding service at fair prices.
Spring is here, so let's get out there. We could take in some sea air, have some fun in a new city, catch up with loved ones, or simply jet off. Wherever you want to go, National Express offers great value fares to towns, cities and major airports across the UK. You'll always get a guaranteed seat and a friendly face to help with your luggage. Ready to express yourself? Book your adventure at nationalexpress.com.
This is it.
Level 23.
Final. Let's go.
Let's go then.
Time as national service, literally doing nothing is the least we can do, but I just can't.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get your medical records straightened out. We'll get your diagnosis confirmed so that we can apply for exemption. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, we work the opioid addiction, Silo's use of sedatives, possibility of relapse.
It's a good angle, but a career disaster.
Okay. Look, let's do some digging on 605, okay? Find me credible sources of information.
Credibility depends on your level of credulity.
Look, I need evidence that can't be challenged, Marvin.
Understood. I wish I'd spoken to you before.
Yeah, me too.
This is how we got here. They fed us more of the things we liked, and then things we never knew we wanted. They were also
Sorry, did I wake you?
No, it's there, but no face on.
You look lovely without. I just wanted to ask, do you know what time the girl's coming today? I need to go to the silo.
I will put it up mountain, but all work is done here. Pas pratique.
Right, safe ground, good land.
I'd rather have floods than wildfires.
Well, you weren't here when the big mud came.
I was when the drains backed up. This stink of... I think she come after me late. You're not come and keep her with me.
Really? Thank you so much.
When you see bandages, no questions, okay?
Okay. What's her name? Can you tell me?
Hannah, with an H.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Bonjour.
with several members of his congregation gifting sleep.
Warning, vehicle charge at 5%.
By example, spiritual leader Honor Zadim has extended his own sleep time,
Audio off.
claiming to have experienced measurable mental health benefits, including enlightenment.
Off.
Warning, vehicle charge at
No.
nearest charging station
That's
is
Silo
at
605. I know.
incoming call from Marvin X.
Oh, not now.
Back so soon, and asking for me specifically.
Well, you are the expert.
And friends like you, who needs an enemies? That was a fish tank joke.
Right.
My spotted group has just come out. You're honored.
I have a silophobic client who's read all the wrong stuff online.
Oh.
I need to ask you the kind of questions that he's asking me and get some really solid answers. You know, Mythbusters.
Good extra word for this guy.
A whole round trip. But your answers will help me with other clients. He's not the only one with concerns.
Far away.
Okay. Is there a proven link between a history of opioid misuse and sleep psychosis?
Wow, first punch, straight to the jaw. No. The reverse, in fact. You know about our in-tube withdrawal program. Well, we're starting to get data about graduates now. The set's still too small to publish, but we're seeing 34% less relapse after 12 months than standard rehab.
Well, that's really impressive.
The sleep learning programs help. Give back some curiosity and pride. But that's just my observation. I'm honest to you that.
No, but it's good to know. Next question. Does sleep-time sedation cause relapse in recovering opioid users?
No. We use the adenosine A1 and melastatin H receptors to trigger thermogenic change and natural torpor. No opioids. You should know that.
Yeah, but you use sedatives during the intubation procedure.
Oh, yeah, so we have a range of options. Opioids are a last resort.
Okay.
How am I scoring so far?
Pretty good. Why have you got a blue jacket on and not a white one?
Well, that's left field.
Are you medically trained?
I'm interdisciplinary, liaising between medical and technical.
Look, on my last visit, you said people were subliminally awake. Awake implies consciousness. What did you mean by that?
And there it is. The 4-hour round-trip question. From lemur studies, we learned that primates don't just physically hibernate, they actually fall asleep. There's nothing cuter than a snoring lemur wrapped up in its own tail. Google it. Now, hibernating humans go through full sleep cycles with naturally extended REM. And that's where the sleep problems plug in. But what's really fascinating is how everyone's cycle connects.
What?
You need to experience it.
I didn't come here to be tubed.
Or hiding behind the sofa, watching from between your fingers, but not quite able to look away. Look, with acclimatization, you're not hooked up. You just get in a tube, have a nap. 1 30-minute sleep cycle.
No, it won't work.
Because you charge by the hour.
Because I don't sleep in the day. I barely sleep at night.
Well, that's not in a tube. You'll sleep like a little lemur. I can give you something to settle you in.
No, I need to be fit to drive back.
You will be. You'll feel invigorated. Trust me. Nap once, you'll never look back. I'll take you through it. One step at a time.
You have other things to do?
When I knew you were coming, I booked an intro, acclimatization, and a follow-up. So, how would Madam like to snooze? With a light sedative, without? Or middle ground, valerian tea and lavender spray?
I'll take the tea and spray.
Excellent choice, madam. Let's do the paperwork. You lawyers love paperwork.
Wait!
Is Natalie Brooke here?
Who asked you?
A client.
Well, I can't help you.
Where did she go?
You think I tell you?
Has she gone to Silo 605?
No, I tell you nada.
Thank you, Rosne de Silva. But you just did.
Get off my doorstep.
Yours? I thought it was a collective.
Now!
Okay. I'm sorry. If you hear from her, tell her don't go in. It's important. Tell her to call Marvin. Okay?
It's a bedroom.
It's supposed to be less intimidating than the barn. It is a bit weird, though.
Do I have to undress?
Whatever makes you comfortable. We don't float you in acclimatization. It's a dry experience, no gel, no neural headset. There's some PJs on the chair behind the screen. Shall I leave you to...
I'm keeping my clothes on.
Okay, also totally fine. But shoes off. And we recommend removing anything bulky, dangly or noisy. And no electronics.
My phone.
Separation anxiety, how sweet. Lock it in this case. It unlocks with facial recognition. Smile. Need a safety wee?
No.
Ensuite's there if you do.
Yes, so, this is it.
Standard tube, identical to the barns. Put one foot on the stand,